let's talk about Shadow Man 9 in the Cradle of Destiny. I think the title of this episode is even funnier now because we've had an Indiana Jones film come out with the title Cradle of Destiny.
Get back!
And Season 3 of The Venture Bros is where they really start to look into the world and we take a deep dive into expanding the lore and the characters. We see a lot more of the OSI, Guild, and the history of our cast. I think everyone can safely say it's a good thing. I've rarely heard people say anything bad about episodes that go into the past, especially ones like The Invisible Hand of Fate. This episode is focused on the Monarch. We only see Rusty in a flashback.
But Venture got the credit for my sinister handiwork.
And there's none of the boys at all. The episode carries on straight from where Showdown at Cremation Creek finished.
Monarch.
Followed by an epic battle where our newlyweds come up against the Guild forces.
Now this is the last fucking thing I expected you to say!
All while 21 and 24 stare at the ruins of the old cocoon.
Well, they're gone. Now what the hell will we do?
And as they try to get organised, we get introduced to the Moppets.
We're your master now.
Tim, Tom and Kevin, who did almost nothing through Season 2. They were introduced as Dr. Girlfriend's old henchmen, her number 2s. Here they show up and demand to be in charge as they outrank the other henchmen.
There isn't even anyone here above, what, an 18? Whereas Kevin and I were Dr. Girlfriend's number 2.
And through a show of mighty force, they back up their claim. I love the Moppets. I love that they went from being these basically joke little people characters to full-on scary, terrifying murder things. The Monarchs have now been brought down to a secret guild chamber.
The next thing I know, your super creeps are blindfolding us and dragging us here to get shot at.
Are being questioned by the council, the super creeps, because nothing in this show cannot be a Bowie reference.
Scary monsters. Super creeps.
And they are asking about the Monarch's past, initially focused on the relationship between Dr. Mrs. M and Phantom Limb.
Phantom Limb ruined my life.
Ruined it? My dear doctor, he began it. Observe.
Starting at their embarrassing first date, which I think, based on what he said in French,
Je t'adore, mais je pense que la robe est trop petite pour vous.
Calling her dress too small, is mostly Phantom Limb's fault. Revealing your invisible, evil way limbs is never a good look early on in a relationship.
Behold! What do you know of evil?
Why? You evil, your legs?
But he offers Dr. Mrs. M her first place in the guild.
Join me, and you could have everything you want.
The Monarch compares the whole situation to torture, specifically that from Marathon Man.
Couldn't you just drill my teeth?
That nerve's already dying. A live, freshly cut nerve is infinitely more sensitive.
And he says he already knows her past.
Look, heads, any guy in a tight evil costume could seduce Dr. Girlfriend back then. I'm not retarded. I mean, I know her past.
The council has more to reveal. Lady Au Pair has failed as a solo act.
So that's Lady Au Pair.
Dude, get out of here.
And is looking to become a number 2 for a different villain.
We have you slotted for a number 2 position.
And we get Watch and Ward trying to sell a number of designs. Ocelot Woman.
The Ocelot Woman, recently mutated to Ocelot. We'll let her bite you and bang. Ocelot. Super territorial.
A character I'm sad we never got to see in the later seasons. Mink de Lovely.
Mink de Lovely. Take a quick dip in a vat of boiling minks. They have been skinned, pureed, and belted with gamma ray.
Because who doesn't love a dip in boiled mink? And of course, Betty Rage.
Pin-up murderess, Betty Rage.
A very sexy reference to Betty Page. Phantom Limb takes her under his wing, and we see the Monarch as the Shadow Man.
Shoving? What? Oh, am I 9? I thought I was Shadow Guy 6.
Which I think is another superhero reference. We see the Monarch keep trying to bring up clips that don't exist.
Roll the clip.
Unfortunately, we have no visual records of your time in college.
From when the whole gang was back at college together, and he was beating it to Marky Post from Night Court.
So we're not gonna have to sit through hours of me abusing myself to Marky Post?
But because the council aren't magic angel babies,
How could we have video of you from that long ago?
The Council of 13, not magic angel babies.
and the Monarch has to recount him trying to blow Rusty up and him getting all of the credit just before his dad died.
Yes!
He has ventured.
What? Tell me, is he dead?
We then see later on when the Monarch has got his costume and tries a solo raid on the Venture compound. The original Monarch mobile screams through the compound, and we see why Myra was such a good bodyguard.
Come on! Ow! Ow! I would have taken him down then if
As she kicks the Monarch's butt, and there was definitely no tanks involved.
Venture hadn't hired a private army of ex-Navy SEAL cyborg ninja witches to protect him. Also, be sure he had a fucking tank.
This obviously goes against the bureaucracy that is the Guild,
We have pages and pages of complaints.
meaning there is no Monarch.
According to this tribunal, there is no monarch.
Back in the Grand Canyon, 21 and 24 continue to go through the wreckage of the old cocoon, finding giant Batman pennies,
It looks like a spare Monarch mobile.
old Monarch mobiles, and finally, most importantly, the Nissan Stanza.
Oh, my stanza! Doug's gonna kill me.
The Muppets are on their case. 21 calls them midget Hitlers,
Can't believe those little midgetlers expect us to rebuild this whole freaking place.
and really hopes they'll do a double Villachez.
What are the odds we'll get lucky enough they'll pull a double Villachez on themselves?
Who played Knick Knack in the James Bond films and later committed unaliving. They make a phone call to someone who's beaten them up before and can hopefully beat up the Muppets.
Wait. Maybe someone we know could take them out for us.
Dude!
Brock. The council sentences the Monarch to death by lava,
And is hereby sentenced to a painful execution.
My hot lava!
but he asks for one more chance to defend himself
I've done this before, you know.
and calls for the video of his unbelievable sexual prowess.
There's more to that night than just the proof of my unbelievable sexual prowess.
The Monarch is skipping his duties as a henchman
Tonight, you're standing around holding a tray of mini tacos dressed like an idiot with a 9 on your chest.
to go to a villain ball, all in the name of love.
I shall don the colors for love. Tonight I take what is loinfully mine.
The Monarch managed to talk about how he defeated Captain Sunshine, and I love that that comes up later in the show.
And then Captain Sunshine pulls the trigger. To this day, he still thinks I'm invulnerable.
After which the Monarch tells Dr. Girlfriend how intelligent she is, the smartest person in this room full of villains.
I mean, you were like the most capable villain in this whole room.
What do you think?
Oh, I know.
Which leads to them going outside.
Say we, step outside, huh? The smell of diesel exhaust in here is killing me.
Where Dr. Mrs. the Monarch gives him some really good ideas.
Monarch doesn't just mean butterflies. There's a whole royalty angle, too.
But they're interrupted by Phantom Limb grabbing the Monarch.
Oh, ah! Hey!
The councilmen quickly put a stop to it.
Is there a problem, Mr. Lim?
No problem, my liege.
As the Monarch lies to Phantom Limb, claiming to be Manotaur, and escapes.
What is your name, you insolent little nobody?
Why, I'm the mighty Manotaur!
Then the Monarch points out the wipes in that video. These supervillains have enough spare time on their hands to make flashy edits, switch out music that they weren't able to get the rights for.
And why'd you change the music?
Pardon?
Listen, a man remembers what's on his car radio the first time he taps his future wife. That was not the...
Couldn't afford the rights.
Whatever Sugar Cube song should have been playing while the Monarchs had sex is replaced by Rev Me Up,
Minor was ready to sign, but the York's lawyers just would not
a
budge.
song by Jasper McVane, who is a Doc Hammer persona, because this show is layers on layers on layers. Dr. Mrs. the Monarch points out his innocence, saying nobody could be as stupid as Phantom Limb.
Well, that tell me that Phantom Limb is so stupid that he couldn't recognize his own henchmen, or that he's so dim.
Bowie's head appears, saying a decision has been reached.
Honey, I think I'm gonna be dipped in lava. It's David Bowie.
Henchmen watch Brock, hoping his name is some sort of June killing word.
Maybe Brock knows how to kill with words. Maybe his name is a killing word.
It turns out the Muppets love the idea of bringing in extra help. Not just Brock, they call in a whole squad of villains. And we hear some more Hulk music. The Planet Suite is awesome as Jupiter starts playing and a team of supervillains rebuild the cocoon. The Monarchs are now stripped. And and are given a villain partnership.
The Guild of Calamitous Intent hereby approves your application for duoship.
Everybody wins. Everyone's happy, except for the henchman who pours Kool-Aid on the Moppet. He looks rather injured. They go arching for the first time together.
Now complete your first mission together.
And as the monarch says, kill everyone, let God recognize his own, I'm pretty sure he has just looked up the best, most quotable lines in history, because he's that sort of a geek.
Minions! Attack! Kill everyone! God will recognize his own!
And the post-credits scene is Phantom Limb proving he is as stupid as everyone thinks. He does go after Manatar after all these years, never quite putting together that the Monarch was his henchman and rival. Turns out a little eye mask can do a lot. So I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
It's time.